Okay, let's be honest. It feels like everything is changing overnight right now. One day it seems like you have a pretty stable job, and the next, AI tools are doing it faster, cheaper, and better. You might think your job is safe, but the harsh truth is that nobody's job is safe anymore. In this video, I'm going to show you why now is the time to build your own platform and how YouTube can give you the freedom and protection that no employer ever will. Let's get into it. Hey, if we haven't met, I'm Rob, and I help people, especially those of us over 40 or 50 or beyond, build YouTube channels that create income, opportunity, and freedom in uncertain times. Because here's the reality. We are living through the biggest job disruption since the Industrial Revolution. And it's not just a problem for factory or warehouse workers this time. It's accountants, writers, designers, marketers, even teachers. And they're all being replaced or downsized because AI can do more with less. And if you think companies won't cut those jobs, think again. I'm old enough to remember when some of my school teachers told us how personal computers were going to make the world a better place. They were going to be on every office desk so workers could do things much more efficiently and then end up with far more leisure time. We're hearing similar stories about AI today, but remember, when those computers came along, that isn't exactly what happened. Instead, jobs were cut, and the people left behind had to work just as long, but use those fancy new computers to become even more productive for the same pay. Because unfortunately, it's not about the betterment of society. It is about the betterment of shareholders. Not long ago, there was an AI safety expert called Roman Yampolsky, and he was a guest on an episode of The Diary of a CEO. And I'll leave a link to that in the description for anyone who wants to watch it, because it is incredibly eye-opening. One of the things he talks about is that AI could leave 99% of workers jobless by 2030. 2030, that's not far off. And if that thought makes your stomach drop, you're not alone. But instead of panicking, I want to show you a different path. One where you own the platform, the audience, and the income potential. Because when you build your presence on YouTube, you're not waiting for someone to give you permission. And if you do it right, and you combine it with your own ecosystem, you're building something that just can't be taken away overnight. Let's talk about what's really happening. Companies are cutting costs. Departments are shrinking. Entire industries are being restructured. Not because of bad leadership, but because technology is evolving faster than humans can keep up. A single AI tool or agent can now replace things that used to take 5 or 10 people to do. And once again, as history repeats itself, the people left behind are expected to do more work for the same pay. And it's actually really sad for people of my generation because you might have given a company 20 or 30 years of loyalty, but the minute your position becomes automatable, you're just a line item on a spreadsheet. And that's brutal, but it's true. And I don't say this to scare you, I just say it to wake you up, because in this emerging tech climate, if you're relying on one employer, one skill, one paycheck, your financial future is at risk. But if you start building your own platform, your own ecosystem, if you create something that builds trust and connection, that's where your security will come from in the new economy. That new economy is the creator economy. It's a new era that we have entered. Millions of people around the world are realizing that they can build a following and share their knowledge and earn income directly from their audience. And before you think, well, that's just for younger people, let me stop you right there. Some of the fastest growing creators right now are over 40, 50, or even 60 years old. Why? Well, because experience matters more than ever. People are craving trustworthy voices, not just flashy content. In fact, As more AI-generated content shows up on all the platforms, I have a hunch that the value of content made by real people like us is going to go up because there's an audience of people like us looking for it. When you show up on YouTube, you're not just uploading videos. You're building an asset, a brand that can open doors to speaking gigs, consulting work, affiliate partnerships, digital products. And unlike a job, you don't need somebody's approval to start. You can begin right where you are using what you already know. And yes, AI can automate tasks, but it can't replace your story or your personality or your life experience. That is your advantage. And YouTube is the best platform to turn it into income, influence, and long-term independence. Why YouTube specifically? Because YouTube is the only platform where your content can continue working for you 24/7, even while you sleep. A video you post today can keep generating views and subscribers and revenue for years. It's not like social media posts on other platforms that just disappear in 24 hours. Plus, YouTube is owned by Google, and that means your videos don't just live on YouTube. They can show up in search results when people are looking for answers. You're essentially planting seeds that grow over time. And even if you only have a few hours a week, every video you create adds to your digital footprint, your proof of credibility, and your personal brand. And as AI continues to reshape industries, your online presence becomes the one thing that you can control. So instead of asking, what happens if my job disappears? Start asking yourself, what could happen if I built something of my own? Because when you own your audience, you own your future. Now here's the turning point, and it's powerful. Every major shift in history creates two types of people: those who panic and those who pivot. The panic group waits and hopes that things go back to normal. And the pivot group takes action. They learn, they adapt, and they build new opportunities before everyone else realizes what's happening. And right now, you have that same choice. You can wait for your company or your industry or the government to figure it out, or you can start creating your own financial safety net today. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it is possible and it is worth the effort. Because when you have your own audience and your own message and your own income streams, you stop being disposable and you become free. If this message hit home for you, if you've been feeling that tension between fear and possibility in this climate, this is your sign to take the next step. Start building your YouTube presence right now while you still have the choice. And to help you do that, I've created something called the Over 40 YouTube Starter Pack. And it's completely free, and it includes tools and checklists and strategies to help you build your first real online foundation. When you download it, you'll automatically become a member of my private community too. And that's where you'll find other creators just like you. People building second acts or side hustles and sustainable income using YouTube. You'll find that link in the description box. Because the truth is, no one's job is safe anymore, but your future can be if you start building it yourself. So don't wait for somebody else's permission. Start right now. Build your presence and protect your future. YouTube isn't just for creators. It's for anybody who wants a little bit of security in a world that is changing incredibly fast. If you want to learn more about getting started on YouTube after 40, here's what to watch next, and I'll see you there.